Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the past 6 months inside of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, the rumors and of course leaks surrounding a CSGO operation and Source 2 have been growing pretty rapidly, but most recently, and of course the talk of the town, is an operation. And while with Source 2 in an operation, one thing we have missed this past 6 months is CSGO skins, and most people in the community are of course craving them right now. And in today's video, I want to take a look at the best workshop submissions for CSGO skins. What are some creators making right now? Are these good to be in a case, or are they better to be in an operation collection if that's what we're going to receive in the next operation, which of course will happen? And why I think a CSGO operation is pretty much going to happen in the next couple of weeks to a couple of months, maybe if it's before or after the Rio Major, is because we're sitting above 1 million players inside of CSGO, and Valve would be very stupid not to release an operation very soon. Of course, to capitalize on that many people playing the game. The last time we had this many people playing the game was the pandemic era of Counter-Strike, and I would say those numbers were very inflated. Everyone was stuck inside. Now not everyone's stuck inside, and at that point in time there was a few things going on in the game where right now there's no Source 2, there's no operation, there's no content really whatsoever besides stickers that are getting added, which no one really cares about. So this is very good for the game itself, and this tells Valve that they'll make a lot of sales with the next operation. And well, before we go any further in today's submissions and of course commentary for this video specifically, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe for weekly Counter-Strike Global Offensive content and videos like these. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skins Monkey. Now today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade. And while our first skin up here, and if you guys like any of these, be one to go on the CSGO community workshop to, like their content specifically. Make sure you give them a like, make sure you say yes and a thumbs up to maybe get them submitted, and give Valve kind of a notice that people like these skins, they get put in the next case, and you can see these in game specifically. These have been pretty accurate in the past for what we have looked at. The Ice Cold, for an example, was guessed, I would say 2 or 3 weeks before that case even came out, which was pretty interesting. But the first skin up here is of course the Glock 5050, and of course 50 being in letters and then 50 being in numbers, and it's a pretty cool, good looking skin. I'm not sure what rarity this would be personally. I feel like this could be a blue, but it could also be like a pink. It could also be a red. It's really weird, right? It's like, it's got different colors. Doesn't have a whole lot of texture on it, it looks like, well, with lighting anyway. I would say this would be a pink. Personally, I would not call this a red. That is just me. I feel like this being a red just would be a little too much in my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below. Here's some other things and other submissions he has, and I think this creator and artist is pretty talented. I think it looks good. I just don't know what rarity it would be, and for that, I'm going to say yes. Now, this isn't necessarily up next a workshop submission, but yet I saw this on the workshop community page of CSGO, for an example, created by Olaf, this is one of the best looking CSGO skins I have maybe personally ever seen in the game. This would probably be my favorite AK of all time in Counter-Strike. I think this would blow everything out of the water I have seen before. My favorite AK right now in CS is the Slate, which is surprising to most people, but it's weird for me personally as well. I don't like a whole lot of things popping on a weapon, but this just, I can't even explain it, man. This is such a good looking skin, and I hope this gets added to CSGO. This is genuinely like one of my favorite skins I've ever seen inside of CSGO. I'm not sure why it looks like a Medusa, and just these other crazy things being added all on a weapon at once. There's so much stuff going on, and it looks so good. And actually, as we come across, Moki has a lot more content and some artwork that I think is really awesome, which this is the op. So this is the op Deep Sea. I think this looks absolutely fantastic and looks really nice. Maybe Valve could have an opportunity to do like an underwater operation, for an example, if that makes any sense, like an underwater theme where we have all these different monsters that are underwater, which I know we received Dreams and Nightmares, but Dreams and Nightmares I would say was more of a nightmare itself than any sort of a dream, and the skins were just really overrated, I would say. And going into it, it was just really underwhelming and underperforming, I would say. And then of course was pretty much Valve's fault. But this I could see being an Operation Red right off the bat, and this would just be absolutely amazing. And I've never bought a covert at the beginning of an operation or for an investment in the future. And if there wasn't a lot of these in the market at the time, I would definitely buy a whole bunch of these, at least a couple in my personal opinion. One as an investment, also as a play skin for the future. Next up on the list is also a skin inside of CSGO, that being the P90, and this is called the Oxide. And I think this is, going to be a good looking blue, maybe a purple. I would say that's maybe pushing it, but we have to include some purples and blues around here, and I think this would be a really good suiting purple or blue in a case. I just think it's a good looking skin for what it is. And of course, I think that says Oxide, I believe, and then Sea Strike. I think this is really, really good. I like the little details on here, and it matches the colors of CSGO and just Counter-Strike in general. And this is what I like about a skin personally. Now, next up, just like everything else in this entire video, these are some of my favorite skins of all time I've seen in CSGO, and especially from the workshop in a very, very long time. And this one specifically is called the Glock 18 Hound, the Dark Pact Collection, which is pretty cool. So this has a whole collection of skins, and this is made from a PAL, it looks like, on Steam. And let's look at some of the screenshots. First, artwork. I think this just looks such like a cool skin. And for me personally, I need a yellow Glock, an orange Glock in the game for my Copenhagen Flame stickers from 2021. And this would suit this perfectly. And like this down here with the little accents, I think this is the small details that I love. Same with the little orange accents on the actual sight right there. Gets like kind of a night vision scope right there. It looks so creative. It looks so cool. And this in game, I think, looks just so nice. And it sets every other Glock out of the water for me. And this being part of a collection could be really cool. It also, I would feel like, probably suit a case a lot better for an operation, a lot more than anything else personally. But let me know what you guys think about this one specifically down below. This is definitely one of my favorites I've ever received and ever seen in CSGO. And this has been out since today, actually, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely say yes and give this guy some warm welcome right there. Another great looking op up next is called the Op Superlight. So this is, I believe, a reference to the Final Mouse or those type of mice, just for PC gaming in general, where they have a lot of holes in them and they're extremely lightweight. And this is what this op looks like. It kind of takes the shell of one of those mice, for an example, for a computer and puts it into CSGO. And I think this just looks so good. And me personally, I haven't decided yet what skins I want to use for the thumbnail. It's so basic, but I love it. And you guys know me with the slate, the red line, and just the basic skins inside of CSGO. This will be a crafter's dream in the game. And I bet you there will be a 4x Katowice 2014 craft on this within the first month of this being out. Even if it was a part of a case, for an example, it would probably be a pink. If it's a red, I'll be pretty surprised, but it's a really good looking skin. And some cool little details about a skin like this specifically that maybe you might not know as a CSGO player. This is extremely hard to make, but also everything you're seeing is all lighting. This isn't real. Like the little circles you see that go into the magazine where you can see the internals of the gun, that is not real. This is all lighting, to be exact. And I think that is so creative, because obviously the Source 1 engine is held back extremely much right now because of what their limitations are with making skins. And well, Source 2, that's a whole nother reason and a whole other video right there that I've talked about in the past. It's just a good looking skin, especially for making this on Source 1. This looks like a 3D skin, which they can't do yet. And for that, I'm gonna have to say yes right off the bat. It just looks so good. Our second to last skin up on this list, this is of course for the AK. And part of the reason I have not really talked about a whole lot of AKs is for a couple different reasons, but for the main one, there's just not a whole lot of them that I think look really good. But this one is called the Spray Transfer for the AK, and this being a covert. And I think it's just really clean. It looks nice. It takes a basic aspect of a CSGO skin, but also makes it a little more complex with a little bit of detail in the background. And that's what I love personally about a CSGO skin. And what it does perfectly is it does that just exactly how you think and how it looks. I think this would be really good for a crafting type of weapon in sort of CSGO. And for me personally, it's definitely something I would pick up and put 4 Copenhagen Flames hollows on from 2021 without a doubt very quickly. And I would take this any day over something like the fuel injector. Call me crazy. I just like it so much more. I think it's just, it looks a lot better for me personally, and I enjoy it just that much more. And it goes well with a lot of different gloves. It blends well in with different stickers, and the details on this weapon I think are, for me, what just makes it so awesome. And I think this deserves a spot in a CSGO case very soon. If it's not for an operation, well, I think it should be soon. And there's a whole collection this guy has made. It's on Steam, it looks like. And this, of course, being the spray transfer collection, you have the MP9, MP7, you have the UMP, you have the AWP, which I think looks absolutely amazing, the M4, and of course the AK. I would like to see personally maybe a UMP and an AK. I think we just received so many ops, but even an op, if we don't receive the other ones, would be really awesome as well. And maybe an A1S skin or an A4. We don't receive a whole lot of A4 skins. I think that'd be pretty cool. Without further ado, I'm going to say yes, and we're off to the next skin now. Now, the last one up here is something maybe people were kind of surprised to see and wasn't that creative for me looking at, but this is the AK-47 print stream. This has been asked to be put in CSGO for a very long time. The print stream, by any means, isn't my favorite skin of all time in Counter-Strike. It's something I've had on the A1S for a few times throughout the year, but I feel like it's something that's got to happen pretty soon. The few reasons why I would say it's not going to happen is, of course, we just received the USPS print stream, but I mean, who really cares? I mean, who really knows what's going to happen and who decides what Valve wants to do with skins? But this is something I could see happen, and it looks really good on the AK. It looks clean, it looks good, it's an easy red, and it's something Valve would know that people will like in the community. And this, kind of very similar to the AWP and everything else, I could see within the first maybe even day or week, someone create a 4x Katowice 2014 craft on here, that being a hollow paper. It doesn't really matter. I think it'll just look really cool. I'm gonna have to say yes. Let me know what you guys think of all these skins down below. Make sure if you like any of these individually, go to the creator's profile on Steam or, of course, their submissions on the workshop and like them, rate them, tell them that you like them, and that will give Valve some more insight that you want them in, of course, the next operation or case. Me personally, the first couple of AKs we checked in, and of course the first couple of ops, are definitely some of my favorites. The most recent AK was probably my favorite AK skin in this entire case, besides obviously the one we saw earlier. That's really about it. I'm very excited for the future of CSGO skins. I think they're just going to get better and better and better, especially with Source 2 on the horizon. Peace out, guys.